Welcome back to Brown Girl Blue. My name is Tabitha, and in this channel, I talk about my childhood memories of growing up as a Jehovah's Witness. So today, I want to continue my baptism story. In my first video, I talked about how my first time of applying to be a baptismal candidate, I was denied baptism. I was 12 or 13 years old. And the elders waited until the day before the baptism ceremony so that my parents and myself know that I did not qualify to be baptized. So if you want to know more about that story, go back and watch that video. I'll tell you all about it. But today I want to talk about when I was finally approved to get baptized, and I was 16. So I was in high school. So I waited several years to try again. I was really bitter about it for quite some time. And when I finally went back the second time, I had a whole different mindset about it. I did not have the same fervor that I did when I was younger. I just knew it was something that I wanted to just check off and to prove to the elders that I could do it. So I didn't really study too much. I just briefly went through it, just kind of a refresher, but I did not dive in deeply like I had before. The first time when I applied to get baptized. As I said in my first video, the process to get baptized as Jehovah's Witness, you have to answer several questions from a publication that has questions that you have to answer with Bible-based references. So I reapplied, let them know that I was interested in trying again to get baptized. So they gave me my appointment, and I met with it was 2 or 3 elders, and I went through my scheduled meetings. They asked me questions, random questions out of the book, through 3 separate meetings. At the end of the 3rd meeting, they told me that I did very well, and I think I had to wait a few days, and then they came and told me that I was able to get baptized at the next convention. And they were so happy for me, and I was quite apathetic about the whole situation. Again, I wasn't as excited as I was the time before. I really just wanted to get it checked off my list, and more importantly, to prove to them that I could do it. It was kind of, I just wanted to just prove that, hey, I can do this, and I just want to get it off of my list. So we went to the assembly. The second time, I think I had one family member who came outside of my parents to attend the baptismal ceremony. It was at the next convention. It was the circuit assembly, which is usually held in end of summer or during the fall season. So I got to sit in the reserved seating for all the baptismal candidates. And it was on a Saturday. Yeah, it was on a Saturday. And it was after the morning session of that circuit conference. And before you get baptized, the person who does the baptism talk has everyone stand up, and you have to answer 3 questions, and it relates to your belief in Jehovah and your belief in doing His work, and I forget what the questions were exactly, but it was around those themes, and that you're basically publicly declaring your dedication to Jehovah and to the organization of Jehovah's Witnesses. So of course everyone says yes to all the questions, and then there's a song that you sing that's related to baptism or related to baptism, and then after the song you're dismissed. And also this is a time period where they're breaking for lunch as well. But during this day, it's a little bit extended because you would have time to get people baptized, and also time for the entire lunch hour as well, or lunch period. And so I went into a changing room, and I put on my swim cap to protect my hair. I got dressed in my swimsuit underneath, and then on top of that, I had a t-shirt and a pair of shorts. And I had my flip-flops so I can walk over to the baptismal pool, and there are a couple of elders who are waiting in the pool for you to administer the water baptism, or to complete the water baptism. And of course, there are people around too that can help you get into the baptism pool and also get out. So I got in, I went under the water and came back out, and everyone was so happy for me and very elated. Again, I was pleased that I did it, but I did not have the same type of zeal or excitement that I had several years before. This really was me just getting this done and getting this item checked off of my list. So afterwards, I went back to the changing room, got dried off, got back into my my dress clothes, and we had some lunch. People were coming up, and of course, congratulating me and just telling me how happy they were for me. And I was hearing the words, but they didn't mean anything. They didn't sit. They didn't do anything for me, because I was still holding on to that first time that I was basically humiliated and told that I wasn't good enough to get baptized. And so for me, it was just a process to get through. And after that was done, we had some lunch, and then we finished the rest of the afternoon session. So that baptism, it was something that I just wanted to get off of my plate, and I had no connection to it. It was just something that I just wanted to do, and something that I wanted to complete, and also to prove to the elders who had denied me that I could do this, and they weren't going to get the best of me. And so life continued. And 2 years after that, when I was 18, my parents started to dwindle away from going to the Kingdom Home as much. There were some other issues that were going on as well with my parents, and so they were kind of disassociating themselves gradually. And eventually we just really weren't really going that often. And then when I turned 19, my father passed away. And after his funeral service at the Kingdom Hall, I never went back. And that was the last time that I ever attended as part of that association. So that baptism, it definitely wasn't anything to write home about. It was just something that I wanted to get done and I wanted to complete, and really just showing them that they were not the end of my story, and I was going to get baptized, and they were not going to get the best of me. And it was very interesting when I think about it. I had put so much effort into that first time of the whole baptism process, where I had a study schedule, and I was so diligent. I was very excited, and I was so just ready to get baptized. And then a second time where I was kind of a bit nonchalant, and it was whatever be will be. And there was no disagreement. There was no issue. It was a very smooth and very easy process, which is what it should have been the first time. Now, I do know that there were some other extenuating circumstances I talk about in the first video in regards to, the elders had some type of personal thing with my parents that got in the way of their decision, and they decided to be petty and use my baptism as a way of getting back at my parents. So I do know that it was part of that as well, which of course it shouldn't have been that way. But people will be people, right? But I just wanted to share with you my actual baptism and how that occurred and how I felt about it. The feelings were minimal because I just wanted to get it done. I didn't have that same connection that I did before the first time that I really, really, really wanted to get baptized. It was really connected to the teachings, and was really wanted to be a good publisher, which is a publisher is a general member status of a Jehovah's Witness, and then different levels beyond that based on your commitment to the ministry work. But I was really, really, really hanging on to wanting to be a good Jehovah's Witness, and maybe it was a blessing in disguise because it did allow me to break free from that and to do something different in my life. So no regrets. This channel, I just wanted to express my experience and some of my memories of being raised as a child in the Jehovah's Witness religion. So, do you have any baptism stories that you would like to share? And if you do, please share what you feel comfortable sharing in the chat below. I would love to read about your experiences of getting baptized, what your baptism journey was like. So that is it for today. So that's the full circle of my baptism stories. But don't worry, there's so much more childhood memories of growing up as a Jehovah's Witness I will be sharing on this channel. So until next time, thank you for watching Brown Girl Blue. This is Tabitha, and I will see you next time.